There we go. I, so let's move on. And I want to talk tonight about a very important thing, and that's our financial future. We're facing a year with the war in Iran and the Middle East, a lot of uncertainty with a lot of things, a lot of uncertainty with currency and currency wars and things, and lots of uncertainty with a whole bunch of things. And it takes me back to the time when I got my first paycheck. Can you remember the time that you got your first paycheck? Wasn't it an amazing thing? Um, Maybe you were excited, maybe you weren't. My first paycheck was from my father, and I'll talk about that a little bit later on. But it starts a journey. You get that paycheck. It's now something we can start doing things and start our financial journey. It also incorporates our social journey, our spiritual journey, maybe even our physical journey. There's so many journeys and so many hurdles that have to become overcome. And that first paycheck, um, wasn't it a surprise for you like it was for me? I mean, the first paycheck I got, and then we'd agreed to a certain amount of money, and then I looked and it, but hang on, that's not the money that I got. Um, and I see there's a notification coming through. Um, when I looked at the thing, there was take home pay. And I said, well, hang on a second. Why are there all these deductions? And then I realized there were a whole bunch of things that had to be taken off before I got the basic take home pay. And it was less than that. But it was when my first paycheck, I could still survive and do a whole bunch of things with it. So I want to take you back to from your first paycheck and let's start working forward from there to wherever you're going. So the journey starts, but because where to? It is a journey. The reason we go, we get a good education, go get good grades at school, so we can get a good job, so we can earn a paycheck on a journey to where? And that's where it stops for the most part. Because you know what, when we started from that journey, I was from before under 20, I didn't care. I was vibrant, I had energy, I had all sorts of things I could do. I could survive on a paycheck. I was living with the folks, and therefore I didn't have to worry about expenses. But then there came a time I got married. That was the first hurdle. And isn't it amazing that when you get married, all of a sudden you've got two salaries and you can't come out on two salaries, whereas before you came out so well on one salary. I don't know how that works, but it's true because life starts to happen and responsibility starts to happen. The next thing you qualify for a credit card. And that's so exciting because you got a couple of accounts. So therefore you can get a credit card. You know how the credit card works? They first give you that first amount where let's say it's 5,000 Rand. And you go out and you buy a chair and you buy the sofa and you buy the bed or whatever you buy. You max the thing out, you pay it off. And the bank says you're doing an incredible job. We can increase it to 10,000. And so this goes up and up. And so debt gets into your life. And that's the beginning of the whole debt cycle because then we want to buy a car. Oh, then we can buy a car. It's on HP. Wonderful. We've got a car now, but we've got more debt to pay. Then, of course, you've got kids come along, and the kids need to go to school, and they need education, and then they start playing sport, and they need different sport equipment, and they've got to have, because everyone in the class has got this Nike stuff or whatever. Now, your kids have got to have it as well. And you've got to find the money to buy this stuff and do these things. And then, of course, comes the house. And all of these things just add up to more debt. I don't know if that was your situation. Certainly in my situation, that was a reality. And so when we wanted to buy a new car, there was no money for it. Even a newer car. Even if we had unexpected expenses, if we needed a new battery or tires for the car, we'd push those tires for as long as we could on that whole thing. So um, there were there's so many things the challenges that come along, and then we see that I don't know where you are. I want us to get back to from that first paycheck to a ground base point to where you are now. Because if you're going to be looking at a business opportunity, you need to be looking to where you can push forward to. But the most important thing is 2 points from where you are starting to where you are going. And I don't know whether you had the same challenges that I had, but certainly there were major, major challenges. And no matter where I went, that's how it went. Oh, and if you get a holiday, of course, then you've got to have find more money for the holiday. The reality was when I worked for my folks, didn't have a holiday, couldn't afford a holiday. That was reality because holiday meant more debt. And so let me introduce myself. My name is Andy Murray. I live now in a little place called Morgan Bay in the Eastern Cape. It's right on the wild coast. Amazing little place. And these, from the time that we started our working career, these are just some of the recent holidays we've been on to: Cape Town last year, Switzerland last year, France last year, Dubai a couple of years ago. And then we've just come back now. Last week we were in Tanzania, we were in Zanzibar, and we've been all over. And in July we're going back to France and Albania for a holiday. I, Life can be so amazing and so special, but you got to start somewhere, and then you got to know where you're going to. This is a dream life that we have right now, and not because I stuck to the salaried situation. I found out that there was a reason that we could make extra money was because I could start a business from home, a business which could have international links, and those links could bring in foreign currency from 20 over 20 countries now. That money comes in from to us every single month, and a business which I can wanting to share with you. I can't wait to share with you tonight. Let me go back. This is where I started when I said I got my first paycheck from my dad. I want to tell you something. It wasn't a lot of money. This was typically what our shop looked like. It was a little place called Mizey's Old Trading Store. Like, all right, that's where we started. That's what it was from the beginning. I subsequently worked in other places. Where are we? There we go. Cops Corporation in America. I spent a year learning retail trade with the Cops Corporation. Everite, which has built so many big places, and Telefunken. That was the years of TV when TV first broke, and ultimately I left all of the corporate world and went back to join my father and built a business. But in this journey that I was working in the various companies and corporations that I worked for, I came across a lady came to us one day and said, Andy, I want to show you a business in a box. And I said, you know what? I'm a business person. I understand business. She said, I'm going to tell you right now, here's a business that's got a lot of benefits, which you've never seen before. And you don't need premises for a business. You don't need staff. You don't need bosses. No, it's part-time or full-time. It creates for you walk away residual escalating income. It has multiple income streams and amazing tax benefits. And in 2 to 5 years, you can build yourself a business starting from home because you don't need premises, you don't need staff, don't need insurance. You don't need to go and register this thing and have need a financial accountant to look after it. It's a home-based business which can change your life forever. I said, come on, lady, I'm a business person. I've been in business. I've been in retail. I know how we had a family business at that stage of 1,000 square meters of floor space and stacked up to the roof with product and all sorts of things. It was a massive business. And she said, I want to tell you something, this can change your life. She said, when last did you have a holiday? I said, yeah, well, we can't take a holiday. She said, how much savings have you got? I said, well, no, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. And she said, okay, do you even own your home? I said, no, we got a bond. And this just went on. And she said, okay, after all the years that you've worked and all these fancy corporations you've worked, when does the time come that you're actually going to have some extra money? When is it going to come a time when you actually have more money? Okay, sorry about the interruption, folks, and I'm absolutely impressed. There's still 30 people on the call, 32. Thank you so much. I do apologize for this internet, and if I goes again, Mark, will continue, just give you a concept sketch of how the business actually works that I'm talking about. What I'm leading up to right now is the importance of actually having a business model. One of my mentors that I found in this journey going forward was a man called Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki, you see on the right hand side, wrote the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's a multi-million seller. It is New York #1 stock top seller. And you've got to get that book if you want to understand business. And then in his second book is called Cash Flow Quadrant. And this blew my mind because he said, as I'm talking to anyone right now, there's four quadrants. On the left-hand side of this quadrant, and those are the guys who have the least tax benefits, are the employees and the self-employed. Self-employed are people who are professionals, accountants, lawyers, engineers. You got two hands, 24 hours, and you can just do whatever you can do. The employee, you have a job. The self-employed owns a job, and sometimes the self-employed is even the specialist is even an employee. And the migration that we need to do to have financial independence is to be a business owner where you have a business system that works for you, whether you are there or not there. Ultimately, when you have your business system working, which is bigger than you, and that if you can understand this concept that it can get bigger, it's not just making something and cooking, baking rusks and selling them in the market on Saturday morning. No, 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 no. You want to have a business system that grows exponentially, globally, and that can feed you whether you're even there or not there. So you wake up in the morning and you say, I wonder how much money we made in Australia last night. And you can go online and see that. This is what Kiyosaki is trying to say. This man had an enormous impact in my life. So I want to just show you something right now of his comment and he mentions network marketing or direct sales type of thing, but network marketing as a business system, which is the most understood. Never in the history of the world have so many people known so little about an industry so great. Watch this now. If I can just get the next clip to come on, we'll be fine. Here we go.
I want to pass on one more secret to how people will get rich. Many people keep their daytime jobs and start a part-time business. That's what network marketing does. But you can also start a private franchise where people like Henry Ford started a part-time business in his garage, which became Ford Motor Company. Michael Dell started Dell Computers in his dorm room, and other people have started their businesses on a kitchen table. So one of the ways the rich get rich is, or recommend getting rich, is keep your daytime job and start your part-time business. As I also said earlier, the tax laws are different for each of these quadrants. When you're in the B quadrant, you have the best tax advantages of the rich. So keep your daytime job, start a part-time business, gain the best tax advantages available to any of the quadrants, and then invest your money. That's how the rich get richer.
That's for sure. And that's what I want to share with you tonight, folks. Start a part-time business, working from home. It starts on the kitchen table, just like Kiyosaki says. And from there, you can move, no matter what quadrant you currently are in. How many you might be operating in 2, 3 of the quadrants. You could even be operating in all 4 of the quadrants. But you need to migrate to a business system which will continue working long after you stop working it. A business system that will benefit you and your children and your grandchildren and your great grandchildren. The business that I'm looking about tonight has been in operation for 67 years already, and it's getting bigger and bolder and stronger than ever before. This is what I believe is the ultimate business system. You say, Andy, but hang on. If I start a business, I'm going to need marketing expertise. I'm going to need to have a place to store products. I'm going to need, yes, I know. But the key is, guys, we need all of those things. We need, first of all, a vision or a dream. You need to be able to see yourself where you want to be. I see so many people even start this business and just want to make themselves R1,000 a month. Depending on the size of your vision or your dream, what are you dreaming? You're dreaming to earn R1,000 a month, 10,000 Rand, 20,000. 50,000 or more, it's up to you. The business is big enough to be able to pay those kind of money. The product or the service is taken care of. The marketing is taken care of. The assets are taken care of. The people and staff, we don't have people. We have people, we don't have staff. Admin and finance all taken over because we have big business backing. A big business that has said we will not market on the open market like every other business, but we were going to market through people on a one-to-one marketing, which as Kiyosaki calls network marketing and network business. So let's get into this. Once you start that, you will now have the opportunity to raise money that you can start investing. And then when you start investing, you can have those, you know what? You can buy your car for cash. My cars are all paid for. You can have your houses for cash. And I'm talking houses that are paid for. You can have your holidays are paid for. Next in July, I'm taking off to France again, and then we're going from France to Albania. So I'll be away for 6, 7 weeks. And guess what? The business will be bigger when I come back than when I was here because the business system will carry it. Does that mean I'll have the chance to still make money and invest money? Yes, absolutely. Once you start investing, you can buy that second house and rent it out. Now you start getting richer and richer as opposed to just trying to eke out an existence from a salary, which is so restrictive. You see, when you have just a salary, what happens is you say they must look after me, the boss must pay my this, someone else is taking care and responsibility for your future, and you can work like crazy, but you know what, they've got to make a profit out of you, so they're never going to pay you your full amount. The day that you start operating your own business, then you start releasing all the locks and chains and fetters that hold you bound to a particular income. You've got to have your own business. Listen to what Robert Kiyosaki says. So this I want to show you now the vehicle, the Neo Life vehicle, which is this rainbow of promise. There's a business opportunity for you. Let's get into it. The international company. Let's have a look at this. They've got two things. They have got the most incredible business plan and they've got the most incredible business products. Okay. The company is called Neolife, established in 1958, and in the last 5 years has grown 61%. Folks, after COVID, 70, 80% of businesses declined in turnover, in profit, and all the rest of it. Many businesses are closing. This company has grown 61% in the last 5 years in our market, not America or some other fancy place. Okay. They're in 50 countries, though, and they've got hundreds of thousands of subscribers already. And that's been going without advertising and it's growing at this like a machine, just growing, 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 growing. Why? Because they have a simple, honest, duplicable, or duplicatable business plan, and they must have the most incredible products which are consumable, which means that people purchase them every single month. Simple. It is so simple. It stares you in the face, the logic of it. So what must you do? What is required for you? Number one, decide. So what we're going to offer you tonight is an opportunity to register online and order online for yourself. The wonderful news is I've been in this business for over 30, nearly 40 years. Guess what? The day that you register, you buy at the same cost, same price that I do. No one can make a cent out of you. You buy at the same price, wholesale price. Okay, let's move on. Let me show you where the money comes in. Number two, now that you're buying it, you can buy the products at a wholesale price. You are going to save yourself money every single month, 20% on every single order. Now you start using your products and you save on your grocery bill. Wow, this is exciting. Your household cleaners and a whole bunch of stuff that I'll go through all the products now. All of these things would run around about 4 supermarket aisles that you can literally not shop in. Okay. And you use these products and you find out that you've got superior, the most incredible products. They have to be. This company would not have lasted without advertising if it didn't have the best products in the world. It wouldn't have that kind of growth if it didn't have the best products in the world. Okay. Another simple thing is TTP. What does that mean? Talk to people. So now you talk to people, you know, and you've experienced, you're saving money, you're seeing you got quality products, and guess what? You talk to people just like you'd recommend a restaurant or recommend a whatever. Okay. And get now when that happens, they can also register, and guess what? They buy at the same thing. They decide, they register and order online. They save 20%. But can you see what's happening? The company keeps a record of every single person that you've referred this to, and that they've referred it to, and that they have referred it to. So you understand there is the network on this whole thing. And it is network, not net sit, not net stand and look at the thing. It's network. We work to motivate and talk to people and explain. So when I refer my friends and family them, the company buys, and just like any other company, I grew up in the retail industry. The more you purchase, the better the price that you can negotiate, or the better the rebate you can negotiate, or the better the discount that you can negotiate.
It was also interesting when Andy was talking about Robert Kiyosaki, that you're back again, Andy. I was just about to talk about Warren Buffett also referencing the network marketing, that if he was to start again, that's what he would get into. So you can carry on from where you were. I had no screen share, so I was unable to pursue from there. Your mic is still off, though.
Thanks, Mark. I really appreciate it. You guys being on over here. I'm so passionate about this thing, and I just can't get it down. But you talk about Warren Buffett. Yes, he does. Tony Robbins. Yes, he does. Even Donald Trump in his book Why We Want You to Be Rich writes about the importance of having a business like this at home. It's your tax benefits, folks, are mind blowing as to what you can do with this. But anyway, let's refer friends and family. As the volume increases, you earn a percentage of the turnover of the purchasing power of the whole group. So create the group, create the team, create the network. So important. And of course, personal growth and development is an absolute must. And then you read the books like Kiyosaki, you read Tony Robbins, you read guys that are Maxwell and the like on leadership, absolutely so critical. So that's the business on the side. But now let's talk about, if I can get this thing working. And if so, the key is use, teach, duplicate. Use, teach, duplicate. That's it. That's our business. I just talk to people. It is the most beautiful business in the entire world. Okay, so now you've signed up with the company and you're purchasing products from your own online store. You get it's Neolife, your name.co.bw in Botswana or co.za in South Africa, and away you go. Now, you avoid those 4 aisles like I mentioned. You can save money because their products are safer to use as well. You get better quality because there's no advertising. The company doesn't spend money. Companies will spend 40% on advertising. Why waste that money? Those big billboards that you'd have to drive under on your way to work every day, those cost hundreds of thousands. Those big TV screens advertising, megabucks, okay? Cut all of that out. So we get better quality product because the advertising budget is reduced. Improved health and vitality, guaranteed wellness. All of these things are the benefits of the products, let alone the money side. So now we're getting health and we're getting wealth. Okay. So what are the aisles? I'm sure you want to know what the aisles are. Number one is nutritional supplements. And the statistics since COVID tell us that 80% of people are now on supplements. You're on supplements. You take supplements, but you're buying them from Clicks. You're buying them from Dis-Chem. You're buying from the supermarket. And guess what? You're buying you're buying stuff which is synthetic. Synthetic products do not have the power and the benefit that whole food nutrition has. And so we've got arguably the best whole food supplements in the world. I will debate that with anyone because we've proven it and we've seen lives changed because of people using them. Absolutely special. Number two, personal care. Your shampoos, your conditioners, your body soaps, your hand soaps, your body lotions and things. Guys, professional range of stuff, the type of stuff that you'd get from a boutique, but now you're buying it at wholesale. And it just, when you use that, you use so little of it, it lasts for months. And yeah, you've got the best, and why not? You are the best. And the first sign of, if you want to live like a millionaire, treat yourself like a millionaire. The next thing is organic skincare products. Skincare is massive, okay, in the marketplace. Every lady uses a skincare product. Well, 90% is ladies, forgive me. And guess what? 30, 40% of men use it. And when they start, they don't stop. You know, guys, you use aftershave and it burns like crazy. Why not use a skin toner that's actually going to benefit your skin and keep you looking younger? Oh, it makes a lot of sense to me. It works. And that stuff also lasts for months. And then, of course, home care, your cleaning products, your replace all those toxic chemicals under your sink and get rid of them and with biodegradable, non-toxic and more economical. I'll guarantee you can save thousands of rand in a year just using these products. And the wholesale, even more so. People say, Andy, I don't believe you. I said, well, let me just tell you, what do you pay to wash a 5 kg load of washing? Probably 8 to 10 rand. If I can show it you for 3 rand, is that a good deal? There you go. We've already got that. Okay. So now that you use your products, test them. You feel the difference, taste the difference, learn the difference. Products are phenomenal that after 67 years and a 61% growth in the marketplace in Africa. I want to tell you something. There's something that you don't know if you don't know these Neolife products. So it's easy now to talk to people, talk to more people. Just keep on talking to people. So let me now give you the graphics of how this business ties together, because it is a rainbow of promise. There's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. They've done their part. Neolife have done it. They've proven they don't have to prove anything to anyone. There are more millionaire. There's so many millionaires in this company. It's ridiculous. And they started off the same way as you will, as I did. Okay, they've done their part. Now our part is to keep going. So let's look at this as an independent distributor of Neolife. It starts with a decision. Number one, you got to make up your mind. And what have you tonight? My challenge is tonight, make a decision, seriously. And buy what we call a business starter pack, so you can get your own web page, you get your own buying number. And on that buying number, you can link other people to it. It's amazing. You need literature, you need product brochures, price lists, compensation plan. You need to understand, and you will not understand everything tonight, for sure. I didn't understand either when I first saw it. But you get the booklet, start studying. And then annual membership is 160 Rand. And of course, now you need product. So how much product do you need? Well, somewhere between 1,000 and 3,000 Rand. That's what I would recommend. I do recommend always get as much. You want to get from every single aisle that possible so that you have the broadest experience. We are not looking for salespeople. I don't want salespeople. We're looking for people who care for others, who will use the products and give an honest testimonial about how they work. So use them, love them, develop stories, testimonies, and away you go with the whole thing, right? So cool. Rule number one, get the product, use the product. It's important. You've got to use them. Number two, create your buying group. Let's look at the graphic. I'm going to do this a couple of times so that there's no confusion. So you register with the company with Neolife. You buy, you get your products, you're buying at cost, and now what you use them, then you TTP, talk to people, and some will say yes and some will say no. For sure they will. Some people just want the product. I've got one lady, I always talk about her. She's amazing. She lost her husband, couldn't sleep, on antidepressant, on sleeping tablets. And I said, please just try our magnesium. And she said, fine, I'll try it. Well, within a month, she was off her sleeping tablets, off her presence, and away she goes. I've got another friend who he said, listen, Andy, I've got this stiff shoulder, just can't work. I said, try our omega-3. It's an anti-inflammatory. It's marvelous for what it can do. He comes in, he just winds up his shoulder and he says, look, I can do this. I said, yes, I know. That product is incredible. You know what? So people want the products. They really do make a difference. And when they buy, I'm going to charge them retail price. I'm going to make myself 25% profit. And so I can make myself 1,000 or 2 a month just selling product and being a friend to those who want to. But then I'm going to talk to other people, talk to more people, people like you, that you're on this call tonight because someone said, hey, I believe that you can build a big business. And so, yes, there's Siatolo's on this call tonight. Nelson's on this call tonight. Mosa's on this call tonight. I know, I saw their names earlier on. And every single one of them said, yes, I want to do the same thing. So they joined, registered under myself, and now they're buying directly from the company. And guess what? They can do exactly what I did. But as we together work, and they're building their business, I'm building my business. As they build their business, so the volume increases and the rebates come from the company every single month end, 3%, 5%, 10%, depending on how much volume. So we know what the limits are. The compensation plan will teach you exactly what the limits are, what you must do to get to each level. It's as simple as that, right? Okay, so, and when you get a 25 to 35 distributors in your buying group, you become what they call a director. And a director is going to be earning around about 15,000 Rand a month, okay? So number one is use the products. Number two is share the opportunity and the products, okay? Talk to people. That's it. Okay, so let's look at it one more time. Because I want to say that creating the director structure is simple, honest, and duplicable. Okay, number one, we said use the products, change your shopping habits. That's a big decision. Change your shopping habits. You're going to order online now. You're not going to go wander in the grocery aisles all the time. Share the TTP, talk to people, the business opportunity and the products, and then personal development. So let's have a look at it. You get started. The company recommends that there's 100 points. Now, understand why do they say that? Every product has a point value simply because we're in every country, 50 different countries, and the currency's up and down all the time. So we know that every product has a particular value. That value is constant throughout the world. So therefore, we can measure basket for basket who's doing what. And they use 100 points. Okay. So you do 100 points with your customers and your own personal usage. And so you teach your people to do exactly the same. If you look, you see right now, there's 6 people on this thing that have got 100 points, plus yours is 7. That's going to give you around about 650 Rand, or it's actually 750 Rand profits and bonus and whatever the case may be. Okay. But now the next month, this guy on the right-hand side in the blue says, hey, I want to, if you can do that and make yourself $700 a month, I want to do the same thing. Sure. You help him. And this is where it comes in. It's marvelous to work with your team and help them do the same as what you did, right? And so you help them to get 2, help those to each to get 2, and they have a different structure, but there's also 7 people. He earns the same amount of money, is right? But the total group now, the total buying power of the group is actually 1,300. Because there's 6 on the outside and 7 on the inside. And so now your profit over and above his 700,000 is 1,700 Rand. Oh, wow. Now it starts getting exciting, isn't it? And the compensation plan will explain this to you. But the more it is, the principle is I'd rather earn 1% of the efforts of 100 people than 100% of the efforts of my own 2 hands, right? So when you get 4 people with, say, 1,300 points in your organization, let's say out of the 7, 4 of them go through and do exactly what you did, which create 1,300. That will give you an income around about 15,000 Rand a month. Does this happen overnight? No. It's a 2 to 5 year program. And we call it the 62 plan, and it works. It's been working for 67 years, and it's still working like crazy. So let's wrap this up tonight. And when we look at the whole program, um, let's do a fact check. The fact check says this: we understand from the beginning, from the time we get our first paycheck till whenever we retire and we want to live our life happily ever after. We have a journey to complete. We have dreams to enjoy, or perhaps we don't. And if you don't have a dream, you'll never have a dream come true. So it's so important that you start believing that you can have a dream. I'm giving you a vehicle tonight, a business and a business system that has been working for generations, and it can work for you as well. So my question is, why not? And why not now? Why not tonight go along and make a choice to change your life forever? What's the worst thing that can happen? You will have to buy products at wholesale price for as long as you want to use them. And that is an amazing. Once you start, you won't want to stop because they are so good. You get the business system, you get the products, you get the support, you get it all. Our job is to help you become successful. So my formula was this when I started. I said, I will work 2 to 5 years in a business of my own, and I will earn a passive dream salary. And I wanted to escalate 10 to 20% per annum. It didn't take me 2 to 5 years, folks, because I was working in the family business and because of my sporting arrangements at that time. I was very involved in sport. It took me 8 years. But after 8 years, I left the family business with a passive dream salary, and I have never, ever gone back. Our income does escalate, whether we're in South Africa or whether we're not in South Africa. And the other day, I sat here with my grandson next to me, and I said to him, I said, son, I want you to watch what I'm doing. And he watched this presentation, and he said, Opa, I want to have a business like that. I said, my son, the day comes when you're 18, this business you can continue and you can have it. I have created a generational income stream for my children and my children's children. Am I proud? I'm humbly happy for what I've done. Mark Twain said, the secret of getting ahead is to get started. Denzel Washington said, success starts with a decision and you finish it with consistency. I hope tonight that you understand with Robert Kiyosaki that you need a business system that will keep you and feed you, get you more healthy, make you more money, get you a whole bunch of new friends and amazing stuff. This is what I'm offering you tonight. This is the first day of the rest of your life. Take hold of it and make something really special with it. So what happens next? I would like to suggest that either you phone the person who invited you or that they get hold of you before you go to bed tonight. And from that, check out, and I just want to see who's here tonight. Colleen, David, Dean, good to see you, Dean. Gabs, I'm not too sure, all the rest over here. And yeah, get hold of the person that invited you or that let them call you tonight and have a chat. You're probably going to have a lot of questions, and that's fine. I would then suggest a second call with someone. I'll be available, that we can answer questions tomorrow or sometime, and get all the information, make an informed decision, get yourself started, and let's enjoy the journey together. It is an amazing thing to do to this business. So that's me for tonight. So thanks very much for all of you for attending. Go out and achieve your dreams. Start dreaming. Start looking, whether it be for your child's education or whether it's trips overseas and going on holiday. What happens now when you get to my age is that your children are not in South Africa anymore. They're all over the world, and you need money to travel. This costs megabucks. And this business will give that to you as well. God bless you. I wish you well. Speak to the person that invited you, and let's get started. Thank you.